So 2 days from now, when I'm recording this, I'm gonna be meeting like all my friends in San Diego for TwitchCon. And I am so excited. Oh my god. And in honor of this huge moment, I'm gonna talk about one of the biggest moments of my life, meeting Pangy in real life. Now, I am gonna be making a vlog about this, but I feel like telling you guys the story because I feel like most of this is gonna be cut out from the video, as I don't really have footage of any of this. But basically, right, I'm staying with my cousins in like somewhere in Europe, I'm not gonna say where, and you know, Amsterdam is like literally a train away from me. So I'm like, hey, Pangy, what if I showed up to TwitchCon Amsterdam? He'd be like, yo, that would be so cool. What the hell? And I was like, yeah, right? So the plan is in motion. I'm like, I'm gonna go to TwitchCon Amsterdam. I'm gonna meet Pangy. It's gonna be really cool. So me and my cousins, we buy like a train ticket for me, right? We listen to Drake's newest album, Honestly Nevermind, on the way there. And then he drops me off at the train station, right? I get on the train and it's like so cool, dude. Oh my God. I love Europe. The trains were so cool. It like had Wi-Fi and stuff. I got like such a nice view of the countryside. It was so cool. And there was like almost nothing like that in Canada. Anyways, my train for whatever reason has like a connecting train in order to get to Amsterdam. So at 11:53, I needed to make it to like a new train, right? And there was a little bit of delay. So when I got off my first train, right? I got to the second train station and it said at 11:53, the time that I was supposed to get on, but it was the wrong like train, you know? And for whatever reason, I didn't account for, oh, maybe the other train ran a little late as well. Instead, what my mind went to was, oh, they forgot to change the location. This is my train though. They just forgot to change the location. It's the same time. So it's gotta be the right train, right? No, obviously not. Why would it be based off of the time? I was so stupid for that one. I was so stupid. Of course, this is my first time traveling on a train. So, you know, you can't really blame me. But also, what the Nevertheless, I get on the wrong train, right? I don't realize this until the end because for whatever reason, this train had Wi-Fi, but of course it didn't let me connect until way later. By the time I was connected, right, I realized I was on the wrong train. And not even a second later, it says, hey, everybody get off the train. We're at the final stop. Why am I at the last stop? This is not Amsterdam. What are you doing? What's going on here? And I'm like panicking like crazy because my phone's on 3%. So anyways, I'm like, I need to get onto a train real quick. Otherwise, I'm going to be stranded in this random thing in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where I am. So I get back onto the train that I just got kicked off of and was like, hey, where are we going now? And it was gonna take me back to the station that I was supposed to get on the actual train. And then I thought about it. What if they don't send like another train going to Amsterdam for like another day? I'm gonna be stuck in some random train station in the middle of Europe and I have no idea how I'd get there. So I got off at the next stop, but sadly, the next stop was even worse than the last one. Nobody was there except for one other guy. And because I'm really shy, it takes me like 10 hours, but I eventually go up to him and I'm like, hey man, when is the next train coming and how do I get to Amsterdam? And he tells me, yeah, the next one's gonna take you to Amsterdam. It's gonna take like 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, thank you. I kind of just sit there quietly next to him, you know, not really saying anything. Next train shows up. He gets on it. He's like, this one doesn't go to Amsterdam. It should be the next one, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I believe you. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So I don't get on his train. I wait like 10 minutes. Another one shows up, right? Guy comes off the train. I'm like, hey, is this going to Amsterdam? He's like, Amsterdam? Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I get on the train, right? I look at the stops. None of them say Amsterdam. Not a single one says Amsterdam. There's an old lady on the same car as me. I'm like, hey, does this go to Amsterdam? And she's like, no. I'm like, oh no, I gotta get off this train. So I try getting to the exit and the train starts moving. So now I'm on some random train going back towards the direction where like my old train was, right? But then I realized this is actually a pretty good thing, right? Because I can get off at this other station and this other station is a little bit better than the station I was at. So hopefully I can get some better help there. So I get off at this next station. I'm like, okay, well, this is cool. All right. I'm really, really sad because I'm lost. But eventually I go up to some lady and I'm like, hey, do you know when the next train going to Amsterdam is? And she's like, oh, it's coming soon. It's the next one. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. That train gets delayed like 10 minutes or so. So I'm like really, really scared. But like 5 minutes after I got there, a bunch of people started showing up. So it was like fine. If I got stabbed, there would be people to witness. Anyways, eventually my train shows up, right? So I sit down on the train. I'm probably not gonna get to Amsterdam for like 2 hours past when I told Pangy. So I need to figure out a way to charge my phone. Conveniently, there's a lady next to me who has a phone charger. Now, all I had to do was ask her if I could charge my phone. Sadly, she didn't speak any English. So I kind of just had to use like hand gestures to tell her. But of course, I didn't try doing anything until like 3 stops later because I was too shy. She's like about to get off and I'm like, hey, can I use your charger? And she's like, no, I'm leaving. She doesn't say it in English, obviously, but she's kind of just like looks at me and just kind of leaves, which I mean, fair enough. If I asked earlier, maybe I would have gotten to use it, but yeah, no, never mind. Eventually, a new group of people, like a couple, sit next to me and I'm like, okay, this could be my chance. And they start charging their phones. So I'm like, okay, they got a phone charger. So I asked them and they pull out a third charger. charger. There's literally like 2 of them, but they have a 3rd one on them, and they give it to me. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you. You guys are so kind. And they spoke perfect English as well. They were also travelers. It was amazing. So I got to charge my phone and tell Pangy, hey man, I'm gonna be like super late, bro. And from there, I kind of figure out the route to Amsterdam. If I want to get to Amsterdam, I need to get off at this one train station, then get on another train in order to get there, right? And by the time I get to that other train station, right, I'm like chilling. I'm like, this is completely fine. There's nothing could go wrong. But then it does go wrong, okay? Some random guy, he's like the ticket collector. He's all like, hey, we're entering Amsterdam now. I'm gonna need to see your guys' tickets. And I'm like, I don't think I have a valid ticket because my ticket was for another train, not this one. I show him the ticket and he's just like, yep, all good. I don't think he even looked at it. He just saw a ticket on screen and was like, yep, that looks like a ticket, and just kind of went with it. But nevertheless, I made it into the one place, got on a train to Amsterdam, told Pangy, hey man, I'm almost here. But right as I get to the train station, my phone finally dies. I'd like to mention, my phone was always at like 1 to 2%. It never died until the very end. I managed to keep it alive throughout that entire time. So like I was using Google Maps a little bit. It wasn't like completely dead. I was using Google Maps a little bit off like train Wi-Fi that was like passing by. I was fighting for my life over there, man. It was so scary. Completely foreign country. Nobody spoke the same language as me, and almost dead phone with no data or anything. I had to use train Wi-Fi to survive. As soon as I got off the train, I saw Pangy and I just rushed and hugged him, man. I was so afraid that entire time, and like finally I'm in like good hands. I finally made it to Amsterdam. Oh my God. It was such a struggle, but I made it. Anyways, that was my scary abandonment story about how I got lost traveling. There's still pigs that spawn. I don't know what to do. I don't think I'm making a part 4. I think I'm just gonna leave it now. I've cleaned enough. That's enough for today. Again, these past 3 videos were recorded in the exact same day, all in order. Next time someone destroys spawn, I'll be making a very nice couple commentaries. Bye, everyone. Bye.